Hello, Kumar Menon here. Today, I'll be dealing with another aspect of health insurance related matters and hospitalization related matters. Mainly, I intend to talk about daycare facility. That is an integral part of our health insurance. Only short-term treatments are covered. That is, uh, insurance cover is there, cashless cover is there, everything is there, reimbursement cover is there, but it is for a short period, that is less than 24 hours. Many acute injuries are the small treatment which can be uh, done uh, within a few hours, say 4 to 8 hours, or maybe even less. Only such cases, including operations, they come under daycare facility. It is daycare facility can be attached to a hospital. It can stand alone also if provided all the facilities are there. Or by all the facilities, I mean uh, it should be registered with a local authority and must comply with the following criteria. Qualified medical practitioners should be there. Practitioners should be there. Qualified nursing staff should be there. As a fully equipped operation theater, and should maintain daily records of patients attended to. This is mainly from the angle of insurance because they may require to recheck some of the activities. Daycare treatment means it is done. Daycare treatment is done under general or local anesthesia. That is a compulsory part of the system. Admission is for less than 24 hours, as I told you earlier, because of technological advance. Not because the operation is a minor operation, but because of technological advance, latest developments, endoscopic, ultrasonic, such equipments required for operations. It is there, it should be there. Please, at this point, don't confuse between outpatient department treatment and daycare treatment. Outpatient department, the billing is entirely different. It has nothing to do with daycare treatment. So, when you go with an acute illness, or maybe even chronic, by acute, I mean sudden development of illness, which can be medically treated within a short time. You can, that comes under daycare. It means hospitalization is required, but not 24 hours hospitalization. But OPD, outpatient department, is entirely different. You can also get insurance cover for outpatient departments. Normally, I think in India, many do not prefer to go for that because they quickly want to finish up the consultation and start medical recourse. So it is not popular and it is expensive also. But those who want OPD to be covered under their insurance can definitely opt for that. Definitely, all treatments covered by the insurance company under inpatient treatment are admissible by the insurance company for daycare treatment also. They are very happy. The hospital is happy. not much time is spent. The patient can be quickly sent home. These are the advantages. Advantages in detail, I will tell you once again. This is the preliminary portion only. What are the daycare illnesses procedures covered? I will explain in detail so that you know, you can, when you discuss with the doctor, whether he will permit daycare uh, procedure or whether he will tell you to get admitted. It depends on the doctor, on the perception, on the condition of the patient, on his physical health, and many other things. At this point, one point which is often referred to me is that after hospitalization, whether physiotherapy can be covered even if taken at home. Here, generally, I would say you should always go through your policy. Generally, uh, physiotherapy taken at home within the specified number of days, usually it is post-operative and other things, post-hospitalization, it is 90 days. Any physiotherapy, even if it is taken at home, it is covered under reimbursement package. It may not be possible to get cashless in that case. Now, coming to the business part of it, how to open a daycare facility. Some people are under the impression that all hospitals do have daycare facility. It is not so. Most of the hospitals in the network group under insurance, they definitely do have daycare facility. For opening a daycare facility is a very good idea for new doctors, surgeons, and those who want to start business on their own. Here, I don't say business, service. So a business plan should be there, how to make it viable. That is the first thing. And also be aware about the scope. It should be a populated area, cannot be in a remote area, and things like that. Registration is compulsory under municipal or corporation regulations. Then some licenses have to be obtained. There should be sufficient space for a clinical establishment. It should be recognized by the Clinical Establishment Act. It can be, for example, I will mention Kerala State has a Clinical Establishment Act of its own. Central government also has a Clinical Establishment Act of its own. But in Kerala, they generally adhere to the Kerala Clinical Establishment Act. Then they will check the fire safety precautions, how bio-waste is managed, how it is disposed of, and also the required pollution control certificates are mandatory. Then it will be good to have National Accreditation Board for Hospitals. We call it NABH. That is a preferred thing, but many hospitals, many go for NABH accreditation. Some hospitals do not go for NABH accreditation because they say it is very expensive and they cannot invest that much amount for this accreditation. But it gives a sense of security to those who go to the daycare center or hospital because it is ensured. NABH ensures that a certain standard is maintained. Then they also check whether infrastructure facilities and equipments are there, whether procedure rooms are there, recovery area is there, operation theater is there, which is equipped with ultrasound, endoscopy, and such other latest modern technology equipments. Pharmacy maybe sometimes there separately for daycare center. In some cases, it will be attached to the hospital. Staffing. So that is another thing that they check. The staffing is adequate and qualified. And also whether there is an insurance tie-up. Only if insurance tie-up is there, more and more patients will start coming. These days, there is a trend. And also, they should market that this facility is available. Then only the general public will know. So all those management of business management techniques should be known. Coming to the benefits. What are the benefits of daycare procedure? I will tell you one thing in between. Daycare procedure is actually, it is more suitable and better for younger people, not for old people. Because when aged patients are treated, it may require more time. They may have comorbid conditions like diabetes, pressure, maybe heart issues, and so forth. So in India, generally, I will tell you the percentage and other things. It is younger people get daycare procedure done more in India. Aged parents are recommended to stay back in the hospital so that they can be reviewed periodically. See, when comparing to European and American countries where hospitals or daycare centers are there, the admission rate is around 68%, 68, anything between 60, 70. Whereas in India, it may be just touching 20% now. So you can just gauge how much effort is taken for people to get admitted, for doctors to recommend admission in daycare centers. That's what I said. It is not for all. It is not for those having other illnesses. The main benefit is cost effectiveness. See, you don't have to spend days together in the hospital. See, within 7 to 8 hours, same day, you can go home after even almost major surgeries. I will give you the list of about 39 daycare procedures that are generally covered in hospital. That I will limit it to 39 because if you go further, you can bifurcate the treatments and make it even 271, 275. That will be a big list to read out. That will be boring also for you. So that I will not venture, but I will give you a short list of the common daycare procedures undertaken at hospitals in India. So, as I told you, less time is taken. And if you have taken insurance, of course, under Section 80D of tax saving benefit is there. You can avail that also. Easy claim settlement because daycare procedures, even if they take only 3, 4, 5 hours, you can go in for cashless because it is a planned hospitalization. Mostly in India, it is daycare procedures are done mainly for dialysis and chemotherapy. Other treatments, it is not all that popular because of some reasons I mentioned earlier and some other reasons I'll be mentioning still. So cashless claim settlement easy. Inform at least 72 hours before the procedure is to be done in the hospital and arrange for cashless claim. Not at the last moment. Then you are there in the hospital only for a short time. That means the chances of cross infection are less. If you these days, many people do not want to lie in a hospital for a long period, fearing other infections and other things. So here the advantage is you can there is a detection in cross-infection prevention, and that is a good preventive measure. And also, many are working. Some may be working for wages on a daily basis. Less man days lost means they gain on the earnings. They do not lose their earnings. If you lie in the hospital for a prolonged period, that means no work, no salary, no job, so many other issues, financial issues. So loss of man days can be overcome. Before being admitted to daycare procedure, consult with your doctor whether he recommends daycare procedure or not. That is the most important thing. You are not, as a patient, you are not the person to judge and demand that you be admitted to daycare facility. Discuss with him your requirements, his requirements, he will tell. Always go for a broader category of treatment. Go for an insurance policy which has a broader category list of treatments, daycare treatments. For example, I was also a banker for a long time. So bank retirees, other than State Bank of India retirees, have about 39 procedures in their daycare list, 39 procedures. That covers a large spectrum. If you further split the 39 procedures. At the same time, State Bank of India has more than 271 procedures listed. But I tell you, here, State Bank of India insurance given to the retirees, it spells out 271 procedures. That is a good thing because while claiming, that will lessen the impact of rejections and other such clarifications sought. It is very clear which are the procedures which are admissible. But I can tell you at the same time, the Indian Banks Association policy, though restricted to 39, can actually be widened to include even 271 procedures. But at one place, they make it clearer, which is always good. Other place, it is not clear. So that may sometimes result in certain issues. For example, if tell you, in the 39 main procedures, dental treatment is given as a daycare procedure. But I can tell you, the issue is that dental ailments due to aging, age-related, such things will not be treated there. Suppose you had an accident, or if you have an accidental injury, whether it be a road accident or falling down. In such cases, if you lose your teeth, correctional measures can be done in a daycare center because it doesn't require admission. But at the same time, if you are an old person who has many other complications like diabetes, hypertension, and other things, you will not get daycare facility, but there is another alternative. You can get admitted to the hospital because of the comorbid conditions. And while in the hospital, you can conduct the dental treatment also. Here, by the way, some policies mention the ceilings cappings for teeth-related treatments. See, in some cases, it will be 12,000, 15,000, depends. So it may go up to even more than 2 lakhs. But they specify generally insurance covers does not cover dental beautification treatment. That will not be generally covered, but I don't say it is not covered because these days you can get any type of insurance if you pay, if you are prepared to pay the premium. Generally, for root canal in India, they pay up to 12,500. That is the cost. But other dental treatments are no. Under these two conditions, it can be treated. That's why it is mentioned in the list of daycare procedures. See. Choose a network hospital always. Many people, it may not be always possible to choose a network hospital because in accidental road accident cases and all will be admitted to the nearest hospital, but then try to get it transferred, yourself transferred to another hospital, and also uh, take insurance policy which has a comprehensive comprehensive cover, not a limited cover. As I told you earlier, only 1 out of 3 prefer daycare procedure in India. 1 out of 3. And that too, mostly youngsters. The reason why senior citizens and other elderly people having comorbid conditions do not prefer to go in for uh, daycare treatment in India, not only in India, it is applicable worldwide, is they fear whether persistent pain will be there after the procedure. You go home within 4 or 5 hours, and if pain develops, you again have to come back to the hospital. So they prefer to be in the hospital till the pain subsides. Another reason could be non-availability, especially in India, rural India, of healthcare uh, places, treatment places near their residence. They may be having some primary centers, health centers, and all that, but they may not have the confidence there. So, as they do not have a nearby healthcare center, they would prefer to be admitted, say, for 3 days, 4 days, remain in the hospital, and that gives them a sense of safety. Then again, travel issues may be there. Maybe people come from to Kerala, not only from Assam, Calcutta, and other places in India. And now the trend is people are coming to India. Those who are staying in USA, European countries, and other places, Asian countries, Southeast Asian countries, Arab countries, all of them, this has become a place for uh, even health tourism. So travel issues may be there. They may not be interested in being discharged and going home the same day. They would prefer to be hospitalized for more than 24 hours. But many senior people have post-operative nausea, vomiting, pain. If they go home, they may not know how to control it. And as I told you several times, because of other issues, they would prefer to be in the hospital. But it depends. Sometimes the doctor says it is not required. The most frequent daycare procedure conducted in India is inguinal hernia and hernias of other sorts, umbilical hernia. There are 2 more other types of hernia, not getting the names just now. And in many cases, catheter is used for passing urine and other things after the procedure. Sometimes catheter cannot be removed quickly. Sometimes it can be done. So as I told you, hernia is quite common, and use of catheter, if it is prolonged, they would prefer to be in the hospital and be under observation. These are some of the general matters. Now, I'll come to the specifics because you'll be anxious to know. We may have only one or two complications, but at the same time, you should know what are the things where you can request the doctor to consider daycare procedure. Indian Association of Daycare Surgery was formed in 2003 by dedicated volunteer doctors. But after that, 2003, I think in 2023, there was a international conference in 2005. But specialized, concentrated activity is not there. Maybe I may not be knowing fully about their activities. It may be active, but generally it is felt uh, there is room for improvement. Another trend these days that is seen in all hospitals is that they want insured patients. People without insurance means it's a headache to collect the amount at the end of the day, the end of the discharge. That is, first thing is they want insured patients. Second thing is they want the patients to be discharged as quickly as possible. If I can be discharged within the same day, they will opt for that. Because these days, workforce is very expensive. Nurses, doctors, everyone, entire hospital staff, they do not want to unnecessarily keep the patient in the hospital and extend their facilities. The easy thing is get those with insurance and get them discharged at the earliest. So these two are covered under daycare as it is covered under other insurance policies also. These days, it's not only cashless, certain things are happening. Many hospitals are having finance tests. You should be careful when you sign the cashless forms and also when you deal with that is a separate thing that is handled by the hospital insurance authority. But there could be financiers also at the reception desk. They are selling finance products. People may be in urgent need of money. They offer money. And they may have tie-ups with the hospital where even if insured, if the amount doesn't come quickly, is not realized quickly, they will arrange to collect that on behalf of the patient and they will take charges for that. Another thing that is developing in the place of cashless hospitalization is at present, it is called CDC. That is click by direct click. Click by direct click. It is using WhatsApp. Your WhatsApp is loaded, the wallet is loaded with say 20,000, 50,000 rupees. And from that insurance company, it's a private insurance company. There's no harm in mentioning the name of the company. There may be other companies also. Bajaj Allianz has a facility for CDC, click by direct claim WhatsApp, so that for such emergency care, you get released over a WhatsApp message. It could be 20,000, it could be 50,000, depends on how their assessment and your funding the wallet. There is a development that is coming on now. Now coming to the most crucial part, What are the diseases that are covered under daycare? I will reduce it to 39. I'm not going to read out the 271 sub portions of that. It will be there in the policy. You go through it carefully. The first one is adenoidectomy. Please, I may not be familiar with all the technical terms. Adenoidectomy, adenoids. That is removal of adenoids. Adenoids, as you know, I think it is throat related. Appendicectomy, appendectomy, removal of infected appendix. It's quite common. That is the second one that is covered. Ascitic pleural tapping, removal of fluid from abdomen using a needle. Oroplasty. Oroplasty means ear tear. There could be injury here and loss of balance. That is called oroplasty, and that comes under daycare. Coronary renal angiography. That is a contrast dye examination of coronary means heart blood vessels, and renal kidney examination that can be done. Dental surgery, I have already explained the matter, how it can adversely affect you. What are the limitations? As it has been explained already, I do not go further. DNC, known to all, surgery, that is scrapping of the lining of the uterus. Eye surgery. Surgery, it's quite common for old people. Cataract. It need not be cataract alone. Can be many other treatments connected to eye-related diseases. But here you should be careful about one thing. See, there are nearly blind, those going blind. There retinopathy, diabetic retinopathy has treatment. So many other issues. Intravitreal injections are given. All these things are covered. But if your eyesight is falling below a certain opter, I think it is 7.5 opters, there will be it will not be effective at all to go in for any of these surgeries, because that means the patient is going blind. You can get some operations done if the doctor recommends, cannot forbid that. But definitely they say less than 7.5 opters, it will be hopeless. Blindness has already set in. That you should always be careful, and you should ask the doctor, the person who treats, what's your reading on that matter. Cataract I have spoken about so many times, about regional rates, Kerala rates, and other things. Go for cashless only in that, because if you go for reimbursement for cataract, you stand to lose a lot of money. Fracture, accidental fracture, fall, injury, acute injury, anything of that sort. It can be hairline fracture. It can be even dislocation. This can be treated by a daycare center. And recently, immunotherapy, use of body's immune system to fight disease, and monoclonal antibody treatment. That is, these are all latest, not latest, about 2-3 years, it is already over. Protein made in labs used to treat cancer, monoclonal antibody treatment, immunotherapy. All this can be done in daycare facility if it is possible, as per the doctor's advice. Radiotherapy, again, cancer-related chemotherapy, most common in India. Chemotherapy is mostly done under cashless in daycare centers. Lithotripsy. Lithotripsy is shock waves to break up kidney stones. It is sometimes done in allopathic medicine. In some cases, people go for alternate medicine, homeopathy to dissolve the stones. All these are popular methods of treatment. Incision and drainage of abscesses. See, if pus has developed, to drain the pus, certain injuries, that can be done in a daycare establishment. Removal of cyst, granuloma, it is connected with skin disease. Lump, removal of lump, removal of tumor, or if the surgeon advises, can be done, and if the health of the patient permits, can be done in daycare center. Another thing is varicocelectomy, removal of varicose veins in and around the scrotum. So these are a long list, not very long, but still it will be selectively useful only for certain people. Then closing of wounds. These days, diabetic patients are day by day increasing. Closing wounds, FESS, FESS. That means functional endoscopic sinus surgery. It is sinus related surgery. That's called as FESS. That is another daycare treatment. Microsurgical operations for body parts. If it's microsurgery, that can be done in certain cases. Then approved targeted therapies for treatment of cancer, as I told you earlier. That includes standalone treatment, specifically for that disease, that is also covered. Then for severe kidney failure, hemodialysis is done. That is covered in the daycare. Fissurectomy, that is anal fissure development. That is another one. Similar to that is fistulectomy to treat anal fissures. These are covered. Mastoidectomy, ear-related preparation for cochlear implants. I missed about it. Cochlear implants are permitted generally under general comprehensive insurance. For ear-related, just before conducting cochlear implants, they may require this mastoidectomy. Then hysterectomy. That is removal of uterus. Hernia, most common. Inguinal hernia, umbilical hernia, ventral hernia, femoral hernia. Everybody almost, whole population seems to have been covered. Then parental chemotherapy. Chemotherapy given to child. But there is a certain issue here. It is both are different. Parental chemotherapy may mean chemotherapy to child. At the same time, parenteral chemotherapy. Parenteral chemotherapy is that is low dose chemotherapy. Then polypectomy, removal of polyp. Septoplasty, removal, nasal surgery is called septoplasty. Piles, removal of swollen veins in the anus. Prostate surgeries. I don't have to explain all this. Sinusitis surgeries. That is again related to FESS, sinus-related surgery. Tonsillectomy. Earlier, it was very popular and common, but these days, doctors, as far as possible, avoid tonsillectomy. Liver aspiration. That is for liver aspiration. Tissue from the liver is taken for performing biopsy. That is covered. Sclerotherapy. Abnormal blood vessels may be there. Treatment of that is called sclerotherapy. Varicose vein ligation, removal of that is damaged veins in the leg. All scope is covered, including biopsies, lumbar puncture. That is, lumbar puncture is made for examining cerebrospinal fluid. ARMD, age-related macular degeneration, generally related with eye-related. That can be done under daycare as cashless. Intravitreal injection, that is injecting medicine to the eye. For those having diabetic retinopathy, that's a path for treatment. So now I have covered roughly 37, 38. There are 39 treatments that are conducted in as daycare centers. When you go to a hospital, please ensure it has daycare facility or big. Large hospitals do have. As I told you, I am not further breaking up the list of ailments because that will lead to about 271 procedures, which is I don't think required at this stage. So there are certain things covered by certain insurance policies. As I told you earlier, root canal treatment is covered by some policies. Get the thorough with the policy. There's another way. Obesity coverage. Most of the policies do not cover obesity. Give obesity cover for the procedures done. But there are some policies. If you go through that, you will get obesity treatment cover under even daycare in hospitals. So, senior people may not require usage of daycare facility because due to age-related complications, doctors may not recommend daycare procedure in India. It is not as developed in India as it is in European and Western countries. That is the reason. There, most of the procedures are done as daycare. You can save time and so many other factors are there. But here people have a lot of time. They care more about being safe. Nobody wants to take any risks, so they may prefer to continue at the hospital. So these are the main facts I wanted to bring to your notice about daycare procedure as far as possible. It saves you time. Those who look after, do the nursing job, they also save time. But remember one thing, in hospitals, daycare centers are always crowded. Here in hospitals, I can tell you exactly how many patients come for chemotherapy in some hospitals. There are hospitals where the number exceeds 300 waiting for chemotherapy, even radiotherapy. So there is kind of rush in some hospitals that is going to increase because compared to other world countries, here treatment is much more cost effective. That is why Kerala is turning into a hub for health tourism. With these words, I conclude. Thank you. We will meet again for another episode on some other aspects of insurance. Thank you. Kumar Menon, signing off.